Welcome back to Edgework, part of the Hammer Betting Network, presented by FanDuel. I'm Zack Phillips, joined here by Alex Moretto and no Matt Alber. We thought he might have the stones to get himself up here today and get on camera, but looks like he's got the Rangers flu, Moretto.
Yeah, he's got some sniffles. I heard he had to blow his nose over 3 times during the middle of the night, so that must have been really rough for him. I hope he recovers. I hope he makes a full recovery.
Sad, soft for for Albert not getting himself up here today, and it's disappointing because Moretto, the NHL is back. FanDuel is bringing more action than ever. Everyone knows hockey just hits different. Apparently, Albert doesn't, though. Couldn't get up here and play today. Load up a power play with the hottest same-game parlays found on the Parlay Hub. Lace them up and follow your bets with player prop tracking, or bet on the fly with the Pulse. The hunt for the Cup starts here. Get more from the NHL with FanDuel, North America's #1 sports book. And right now, new customers kick off season with $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Just place any $5 bet, and you'll get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Please play responsibly. You must be 19 plus, physically located in Ontario. Gambling problem, call 1-866-531-2600. That's 1-866-531-2600, or visit connectsontario.ca. Try to rip through that one. I was trying to test out my TV disclaimer speed there. I got through pretty clean. I got through way cleaner than anticipated. Yesterday on the show, best bets given out 2-0. We go Devils money line -125, easy winner there. I think it's 4-0 in the second period. I looked and was like, normally I don't want to kind of mentally consider these things winners ahead of time because it's, first of all, it's the NHL. Second of all, bad juju to do so. But I don't know, watching that Devils Rangers game, I'm peeking in on it every now and then. I'm obviously watching the Leafs game mostly, and I'm like, I don't think this Rangers team has the willpower to come back and beat the Devils here. Let alone the luck that it may take to get a bounce or two your way in a game like that where you're down 4-0 in the second. I just don't think they've got it mentally, emotionally right now to come back. And that's a really good Devils team right now there on the opposite side.
Yeah. Yeah, the Rangers look broken right now. You also have to earn your bounces in this league, and they're not playing that way whatsoever. I don't know, something fundamentally has to change. We've talked about the Bruins, and I'm like, the Bruins will be fine. The Bruins will be fine. I still think the Bruins will be fine. They just got to play through it. I don't think this is something the Rangers can play through. There's something fundamentally broken there. I think there's something broken in the room, within the team, in the organization itself. There's so many levels to this. I think they legitimately they need to make a massive change here to change the vibes up, because I don't think this is something they can just sort of figure out internally.
It's weird, right? That Drury grenade he threw earlier where it got
Insane.
leaked out that Kreider and Trouba were being shopped or they were willing to move them. Seems like it pretty much, you don't want to call them dead already, but it seems like it pretty much was just hey, you're a little bit fragile. Let's see if you can fucking handle this one. It was boom, that was it. And that kind of killed them in a way. It's a weird mentally emotionally strange situation in that room right now.
The way he did it too is fucking bananas. He emailed the league to say, hey, and say what you want about Trouba, I get it, whatever, but you email the league to say 2 of your longest serving members and 2 clear members of your leadership group are, hey, they're available, by the way. That's fucking bonkers. That's not the way you handle that. He completely butchered that situation. I'm stunned that that's how that happened.
Yeah, well, anyways, works out well for us there last night. We win that one. Devils win 5-1, so we cash -125 money line for the Devils. First win, second win, Leafs, Blackhawks. 4-1 win for the Leafs. I don't think they played that well last night, but you squeak out a victory against Chicago at home. It kind of went along with everything you guys said. I mean, if you go back and listen to yesterday's show, I believe between you and So Money, there was talks of this is the Leafs. Chicago could maybe hang on. This one was what So Money was saying. We thought he was going to go +1.5 on that game, but ends up taking the under. And it's that's kind of how it played. The Leafs didn't make it a track meet. They pretty much just played some slow gross kind of game, and Chicago is just not very good, and that's how it played out for us there yesterday, and cashed that one. So 2-0 day, pretty good there for us. Hopefully we can continue this over to today. If you look at the past week, that gets us back up a little bit there, Moretto. 28 bets over the last 7 days. We are down 3 units in the last week of bets given out. That obviously includes a tough Sunday or Saturday, excuse me, for us there, and a little bit of an up and down throughout the week last week. So now down 3 units over the last 7 days, but I believe still up on this season so far here. So let's get to today's games. Don't want to waste any more time. You guys ask your questions in the chat, send your thoughts on today's games, whatever you guys have. I do have a futures bet courtesy of our friend Ron Kurtz. He couldn't make the show here today, but he did message me ahead of time, and it's not from me, but I agree with this on 100%, and I want to make sure that we give this out today because I think you guys will find some value in it. Let's start with the games here today. First and foremost, we're going to the Detroit Red Wings Boston Bruins game. Red Wings plus 162, Bruins minus 196, a total of 5.5 right now. Minus 124, over plus 102, under. Moretto, what are your thoughts on this big number we see on the Bruins right now and kind of the 5.5 total, at least on FanDuel?
Yeah, so like Detroit's found a bit of life on offense all of a sudden. The positive regression has finally hit their shooting percentage. They still look terrible overall, though. Like, this team is getting caved most nights at 5-on-5. Pace of their games tends to sort of be dictated by their opponents, which leads me to believe that stylistically the Bruins will be cool playing this a little bit tighter. But like, the Bruins have also kind of opened up a little bit more lately. We've seen a slightly different approach from them. Maybe it's Sacco, maybe it's just the team realizing they need to play a little bit differently. Whatever it is, they're playing a little bit more high event hockey right now. And Detroit's going with Ville Husso tonight, who absolutely sucks. Over's taken some money. I really wanted to get involved. I don't know what we still have left on these 5.5s, but like, if we can get minus 124 is not bad at FanDuel. If we can get a 5.5 minus 120, though, like, I'm in here on the over.
I can do you a minus 120.
Yeah, let's do that. So I'm good with that.
Sorry, everyone. Let me just double check. Yeah, we can do a minus 120 for sure.
Yeah, like, the Bruins have changed their approach a little bit. Detroit's starting to play a bit more open. They were generating nothing. I think they realized they had to. And like, honestly, with Husso in net, this is like similar to the Habs Bruins game, I think, the other day, where I was on the over on Sunday. That was all down to like, look, yeah, the Habs have been playing better defensively, and we know the way the Bruins tend to like to play, but like, it's Caden Primo. And Primo was awful in that first period. He lets in a few goals, and all of a sudden things open up right away. And I think that's kind of going to be a similar situation here, where Detroit's not going to be able to get the saves from Husso, and game could potentially get out of hand, and they're going to need to just open things up. And I think that really lends itself to an over.
All right, there you go. First bet of the day, over 5.5, minus 120. Again, if you want to track all the picks in real time or just follow along with us throughout the season, make sure to go over to the BetStamp app as Edgework HQ. Follow along there. We will update everything. We can tell you who has bet what, when. We can see what books, what the close was, what numbers we betted at, all that kind of stuff. Let's go Panthers, Penguins next. Florida minus 172. Pittsburgh plus 142, total of 6.5, plus 100, even money, minus 100, whatever the hell you want to call it. Over 6.5, under 6.5, minus 122 right now. Moretto, no one else here. Back to you. Thoughts on this game?
Oh, true. Okay, I wasn't expecting you to throw it to me first. So yeah, I wish that we had a better team to kind of fade the Panthers with here, because like, they're coming off that huge statement week last week where they beat the Leafs, they beat the Canes twice. I know somebody's talked about it. Alber's talked about it. We've all talked about it a bunch now, where like, Florida, they're going to kind of pick and choose their spots here this season to assert themselves and to kind of make those statements like, hey, this is still our conference. This is still our league. We are still the defending champions, and we're here, to take another run at it. That's what last week was. They did their talking last week. This is very much like this shouts like a hard mail it in game after that little run they had of those 3 wins. Like, I think that they're gonna. This is one of those where you're not gonna see that like top of the range effort from Florida. yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh's put together a nice stretch, but like they're still really hard to trust right now. Their issue is just inconsistency. Like at the top of their range, they're still a very good team, but they just don't hit the top of their range too often. And that baseline is a lot closer to the bottom of their range. Like here's the bottom of their range, here's the top of their range. Like this is not the baseline in the middle. The baseline is like here, where they're so often come up near the bottom. But when they're able to hit that top range, they're really good. I can't, I would have needed a better team, or like even just like a team with a bit that you could trust a little bit more to fade the Panthers with tonight. So as much as I want to bet against Florida here, this Pittsburgh's just not the team for me to do it.
Okay, fair enough. I was waiting on like, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? And then all of a sudden I see you just veering away. I'm like, we were so close. I thought it was gonna get there. Next up, we've got the Islanders and the Canadiens. New York right now, minus 138. The Habs, Les Habitants, plus 115. Total of 5.5, minus 122. Over, plus 100. Under right now on the 5.5s. What are your thoughts on your Habs? Also, by the way, quickly, at some point here, I will get us also that one just moved a little bit. I will update in a second. I will get us a update on the sheet. I want to look at point totals and what we are and are not on pace for. And we can maybe do like a rundown on a slower day and just see like what do we have here. Because I keep like forgetting what we do and don't have. Like every now and then when I bring up a team, I'm like, oh yeah, we have some bet on that. But thoughts on Islanders, Canadiens tonight, and the number we see on either side?
All right, settle in. How much time do we have here to talk Habs? Maybe a little Habs talk radio starting. Patrick Laine, welcome back. First game back. First game for the Habs since that preseason debacle where that piece of shit took out his that was it. You know, it is what it is. First game in 354 days. Basically a full calendar year. So it'll be awesome to see him back out there, everything he's gone through with like the injuries, the mental health struggles, everything like that. That being said, this is the NHL and you can't go like a full calendar year without playing and come back and be a difference maker right away. I don't even care if your name's Connor McDavid. That's just not going to happen. So I don't expect Laine to make a huge difference here tonight, or at least in the next couple of weeks. Like it's just the reality. He's played 18 games in basically 2 years now, like 630 days or something like that. He's played 18 games. I can't remember what I read, but yeah. You can imagine how good it'll feel for him to get back out there, though, and like just a morale boost for the team in general. Now he comes back to a team that like is pretty desperate for offense, and you're kind of curious as to like where is he going to slot in. The hope was that they move Slavkovsky back to line one, that was so good last year, and then give Doc, Laine, and Newhook a chance together. But it looks like Slavkovsky's playing with Newhook. Slavkovsky's playing, with Doc and Laine, and then Newhook is keeping his place on line one. Newhook of 24 games and 0 assists this year. That's the guy you want setting up Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki. That's perfect. That just makes a lot of logical sense. So don't really love that, but nonetheless, it'll be awesome. And like the Habs fans have been waiting all season for this, and they just needed something. So like that Bell Center should be absolutely buzzing tonight. Especially with Waugh in the building too. Like it's just one of those games where the Bell Center is just going to be rocking, right? Like I know Waugh made his way back already once last year, but like this is just one of those games where it's going to be loud from the start. The team kind of feeds off that energy. It's a really hostile and tough place to play. Like that is one of the toughest buildings to play in the NHL when it's going, right? It hasn't been going as much lately, but I think tonight it definitely will be. I do like the Habs tonight. Just kind of right now, like the Isles, they're struggling to play through whatever they're going through. These injuries are just killing them. And like, yeah, I mean, we haven't seen that sort of response that you'd expect to see after Waugh came out and made the comments that he made. It's just not happening for the Isles right now. This is a spot where you'd want to see a response from this Islanders team where like, hey, let's get our coaches back. He's going into a place where he played forever and everything that happened there. But we have no evidence to believe that that's going to be the case because we just have not seen it from this team once. So like I do want to bet the Habs here, and I also want to bet an under. Now I want to get a 6 for these unders because we're going to get Sorokin and Montembeault, and the Habs defensively have talked about it. They've been much better at home, especially. They've been significantly better. And if we can get a 6 minus 120, I'm in on that. for the under. And then in terms of the Habs, I'll lock it in at one point, but I think we can wait a little bit. I don't think they're going to take like a ton of money or anything like that. Even with the confirmation of line being back, I don't think that makes a huge difference. So like I'll lock it in at one point. I just want to see how this kind of moves a little bit. I wouldn't be stunned to see the Isles take a little bit of money because again, Habs get faded every single game in the market. So like we haven't seen the Isles money really come in yet. So I'm going to hold off for now and hopefully we can get a slightly better number at one point throughout the show. But if not, then I'll lock it in where it's at now as we get to the end of the show.
We got a under 6 minus 120, so we'll put that one in and then just be on the lookout there for the Habs number to pop that you're looking for, and then we can circle back and lock it in. But as of right now, under 6 minus 120, Montreal, New York. We add that one to the slip here as well. Next game, let's take a look at. We are going to go to the Avs Sabres. Colorado minus 146, Buffalo plus 122, total of 6.5, minus 102 over, minus 120 under. Just first glance, I looked at this one, I was kind of like, it feels like the Avs were a little bit short there against Buffalo, but obviously there's a reason for that. Why are we seeing this number on Colorado right now against Buffalo tonight, Moretto?
Yeah, I mean, it's taken a little bit of money, so it's kind of been bet up a little bit. Still on the road against a Sabres team that's like maybe a little bit inconsistent, but they're still a good team. This isn't like a Columbus type thing. I think the market somewhat respects them, but like, yeah, the Avs are a wagon right now. They're playing really, really good hockey. I would have wanted something a little bit cheaper if I was going to get on the Avs, but I do. And this is, I think, this is only two. I've played one over, one under. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to get another under going here because defensively, like the Avs, so the Avs have been really good overall. They're pretty much, dominating teams at 5-on-5 at this point. A lot of that is down to just how well they're playing defensively, though. They're not giving up many chances. They're not giving teams much time on the puck and much ozone time. And they're really kind of suffocating other teams' offenses. I know the other night, the Oilers obviously scored their 6 goals, but like it wasn't necessarily a great outing from Georgiev, and obviously the power play was going and stuff. So I think at 5-on-5 though here, they should really be able to control this game and control what Buffalo was able to do. Buffalo has also been really strong on the back end, and when their defense has kind of faded a little bit, UPL has been there to take advantage. So, he's been really, really good. He's kind of found a groove here. And if Georgiev does happen to struggle or the Avs don't really get the goaltending, I don't necessarily think that this Sabres team that is really just generating nothing right now is the team to take advantage. So no matter what, I still think this plays out to kind of a lower scoring game. And this is a big one for the Sabres too. This is a really big one for the Sabres. So you'll have to think they'll try and tighten things up, and they're not going to want to get into a back and forth with this Avs team. So I think all that stylistically as well, it kind of shapes up to be an under here at 6.5.
Under 6.5 minus 120 we can do here. So that is another best bet, Moretto. I was worried ahead of the show that we were going to be a little lighter on bets, just given that it was just you and me. We've come out and it's like bet. And we've got another one that we're just like waiting and sitting on in the Habs one there. So there you go. Colorado Buffalo under 6.5 minus 120. Another one added. We'll recap all these at the very end, but make sure to lock that in. Best price, or that price right now, is available at FanDuel. Seattle, Carolina next. The Kraken plus 210, Carolina minus 260, total of 6.5. Over plus 110, under minus 134. You got another bet in this one?
I don't.
Oh, there we go.
We got Kuchekov is back tonight for Carolina. I don't know if you saw, did you see him at practice yesterday? He skated out there and he like turned back to like the cameras, like looked up in the stands, like the Kane social guys or whatever. And he was like, "I'm back, motherfuckers." Pretty cool. No. So he's back. Kane's coming off those back-to-back losses to the Panthers. I would definitely expect to see a response from them. I know Seattle's coming out back-to-back losses to the Sharks as well, but like each of those are not like the other. Very different teams and very different losses that these teams kind of experience over the weekend. So yeah, I would think Carolina bounces back here. Seattle just looks really bad right now. I think they might just be a bad team. I can't really take them seriously, especially not when they step up in class like this. So Carolina can probably name their score here. I have no interest getting involved.
Found it.
So good.
That's funny. That's good. That's good.
Not a fucking ass.
All right, let's get to next game here. Nothing in Seattle, Carolina. We'll move on to the Sharks Capitals game. San Jose plus 235, Washington minus 295, 6.5 total, minus 104 over, minus 118 under. Do you have any interest in this one?
Man, so this is kind of a crazy breakdown right now that we can get into. So I was looking through this very closely last night because I couldn't believe the numbers that were coming out from this. But like, so yes, the Sharks keep scoring, they keep winning. Good for them. They're becoming a really fun watch. But like, this is so not sustainable. It's insane. So the last 2.5 weeks, I got the number. Let me pull the numbers up here. But the last 2.5 weeks, they're shooting almost 13% at 5-on-5, which is by far the highest in the league. Last 4 games, they have 22 goals. Awesome. Great. They're scoring a lot. They're shooting 19% at 5-on-5 in those games. At 5-on-5, they're shooting 19% and 20% at all strength. So their last 4 games, they've scored on 1 out of every 5 shots, that means, which is fucking nuts. Like, that's not going to continue. That's not even going to come close to continue. Like, there's regression that's going to hit now. They faced Decor, Grubauer, Ullmark, and Riddick. Those 4 goalies have combined for a minus 10 goals saved above expected in those 4 games, which is insane. The worst goalie in the NHL this season has been Connor Ingram by GSAX, and he has minus 9.38. And yet San Jose's faced 4 guys who have minus 10.8 over the last 4 games. So yeah, there's like, this is just an insane little run that is basically just mostly down to, like, not to take away from what San Jose's done, because like, it's great and like they're scoring goals and they're a fun team right now, but like, it's not sustainable because they're going up against some terrible goaltending right now, and you'd think that will correct itself. I don't know if this is the game for it, because Washington right now is basically the exact same. This season they're like the top in the NHL right now at shooting 13% at 5-on-5. The next best team is at 11%. Like, their shooting percentage has been off the charts all season. Over the last 4 weeks, they're shooting 17%. So like, these are like the number 1 and 2 teams in shooting percentage over the last while. It's like everything they touch turns to gold. Conceptually, everything that like I believe in is just shouting at me to bet an under in this game, because we have seen some like tighter games at 5-on-5 from Washington lately, where not a lot being given up, not a lot being generated, but like they're still scoring at this insane rate and they're still giving up goals at a pretty high rate. And like, the way San Jose is just everything they're shooting at net, putting on the net right now is going in. So like, do I want to step in front of that? Not really, but like, at the same time, everything is telling me to bet under 6.5 here. So I don't know. I didn't bet it yet because like, it seems mad to bet an under 6.5 when 2 teams that are just like, playing like 10-goal games every single night. But these are not and should not be high scoring games. So yeah, I like the under. I didn't bet it though. I don't know if I have the stones for it, honestly.
It's one of those ones where it's like, you bet it and it wins and you're like, shit, should have done it, I was right, but it loses it and you're like, yeah, like, why the fuck did I ever do that? Like, it's not like looking back and being like, even if the process was right, it's not like looking back and mentally being like, well, the process was right. You know what I mean? It's like,
it's like, no, you're an idiot. These teams are scoring a ton. Why would you do that?
Yeah, I've done it with like NBA player props too.
Yeah. This is also one of those where like, if I bet it, it's gonna finish 6-5, and if I don't bet it, it's gonna finish 3-1. So, what are you supposed to do in this situation? I'm just gonna stay off it and hate myself when it finishes 3-1.
Yeah, this one's where it's like, I have like an edge on like, Giannis under PRA, and I'm like, wow, like, this is good. And then I just sit there, like, think about it for like 10 more seconds. And I'm like, am I really just going to bet this NBA superstar like under on this stuff? And like, I'm going to be so mad when it goes over and I lose the bet, just because conceptually I'm just going to be like, what the fuck was I thinking in that moment? Quick side note here. Yesterday during the show, I believe Charles asked us, this is just because of OV, this is the Caps game, I was thinking about OV yesterday. Charles asking us, OV skating, what's the worst injury you've skated through or played through? This deserves some recognition. Our guy Rich in the chat, I'll make it quick here, but I wanted to make sure we said it on the show because he commented after. Broke my left leg, tibia, and fibula in a corkscrew fracture playing men's league hockey. Didn't get pins or screws because UBC doesn't have that option, and VGH was so full they wouldn't answer the phone for me to get a transfer. Had to lie in bed overnight until I was casted in the morning. I did get
Oh,
McKenke as my doctor, who was the Canucks doctor at the time. He's now at the Leafs, but they didn't know if I'd get transferred. So they wouldn't let me drink, and I was so thirsty after 2 periods of play. They had to cut my equipment off my leg. I got 2 shots of morphine to get through a difficult overnight, casted from my hip to my toe for 2 months, and then a cast above my knee to toe for another 2 months. He was
oh
working at
man.
GM Place, got to work as customer service with a Ticketmaster rep those 2 months. He says easiest position, and everyone thought it was a fake cast because who was ever in a cast for 4 months? My leg was like a toothpick by the time it was all done. I read that one last night and I was like,
Jeez.
oh my God. And he didn't get to share it in the chat yesterday, but
It's a
for
long
how
story to
gruesome of
share in
an
the chat.
yeah, but how gruesome of an injury that was and how much he had to battle through, I wanted to at least just acknowledge it on the show here today. So,
Rich, how did that? I
Rich,
wonder how
shout
that
out.
happened. Was it like went into the boards hard, feet first, or what? What was like? How did that happen? I'm curious about that.
I got it. He
Oh yeah.
commented it after I'm reading it. Soft ice. He's small. The defenseman was big. Only his left skate was on the ice as he tried to go past the defenseman. Pushed to the right. Body twisted as my left blade stayed on the ice. Hence the corkscrew fracture.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh.
Rich.
That's
Yeah, I just
rough.
read
That's rough.
reading that follow up message. Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to Rich because he's in here every day, misses yesterday, and happens to send that after. I was like, holy shit.
The
So yeah,
overnight, that overnight aspect to that is so bad too. Like, you cannot
I know.
downplay how bad that would be, where you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know when you're getting this like looked after, what like the treatment plan is going to be, what the time frame is going to be, what the injury for sure is, and you're just basically laying there like in so much pain, just
Just
dying to
waiting.
have this dealt with. That's awful. That's awful.
Yeah. But I wanted to shout it out, Rich. Crazy story there that I read last night. That's definitely significantly worse than Moretto and I dealing with some shoulder
Yes,
stuff,
yes,
I'd
definitely
say.
can
Let's get
confirm.
to Rich's Canucks here. Next, we got the Canucks in the Wild. Vancouver plus 118, Minnesota minus 142, 5.5 total, minus 106, over minus 114, under. Anything for yourself here, Moretto?
So yeah, this game definitely warrants a 5.5 total based on how both teams are playing. It's open 5.5 and is still taking money towards the under at the 5.5, which I agree with. I'm not dying to bet it though, just based on what we may get goaltending wise from these two teams. Like, you just can't really trust it fully right now. But yeah, I mean the Canucks are really just struggling to find any momentum and find their game. It's been pretty rough right now. And the Wild, meanwhile, like I think they're I know that Vancouver's taking a little money, which like numbers wise you can understand it. If like obviously like you're using a bunch of priors and stuff like that in your model, and the Canucks have been a good team for a while and kind of an analytical darling team for a while, but the Wild are so consistent right now, and that's really hard to find in this league, where they're actually like finding a good baseline of performances and kind of meeting that at least every single night. If this gets any cheaper, I might be like down to get involved with the Wild's side, but I want something in like the minus 120-ish kind of range, which we're probably not going to get anyways. So not going to bet anything here, but like a little bit concerned about what we're seeing from the Canucks lately. I do hope they can figure it out. Now there's rumblings about and I know it's not from like a reputable reporter necessarily, but like it's an account that did break a lot of stuff with JT Miller about his injury in the past and then his leave here. Like there's like a Canucks account on Twitter that is obviously somehow connected to either the team or player. If JT Miller wants out, that's like, man, things are getting a little bit dicey in Vancouver right now.
Yeah, and I was also thinking about this yesterday because I was reading some stuff about Miller, Vancouver, and then the Rangers, obviously, in their situation. And people are all
Mhm.
horned up about like, oh, JT Miller, bring him back to Vancouver, or bring him back to New York here. I'm like, it seems just like a volatile situation all the way around. Like,
Yeah.
I love JT Miller as a player. And I'm not one to speculate on what he's like in a room or anything like that, but just like, it just seems like really volatile for everyone. A fragile room right now with a guy who is like I don't know, like the word you would use to describe him, but like a spicy personality, maybe,
Yeah.
that you're
And
just gonna
who's
be
like,
like, here, this will fix it.
yeah. And who's obviously
I don't know.
going through something mentally right now as well. Like to now go
Yeah,
into that pressure cooker of a environment would, yeah, I feel like that's not a
seems
great
odd.
situation.
Seems odd. All right, let's go Blues Jets here. St. Louis plus 172, Winnipeg minus 210, 5.5 total here yet again, minus 115 over, minus 105 under. You feeling vindicated about your takes on the St. Louis Blues from preseason here right now?
Well, I mean, I wish they didn't go out and get Montgomery. I mean, I'm feeling somewhat vindicated. I do think that I was right about this team coming into the season, but now, going out and getting a real coach maybe changes things a little bit. I still think they're just going through that new coach bump right now, and I don't think they're actually a good team. So it'll tail off at one point. Kind of down to fade Winnipeg still in spots, but like this is obviously not the spot. You're not going to find me betting the Blues very often. I would want a much bigger number to get involved here. So yeah, I still think Winnipeg should, be comfortable to win these types of games. And yeah, total's kind of fine where it is. I'm just not really interested in watching this game or betting this game.
Fair enough.
I mean,
All right, we'll keep it moving. We don't got anything. We don't got anything. Columbus, Calgary. Right now, the Blue Jackets plus 108, the Flames minus 130, 6.5 total plus 100 over, minus 122 under. I'm not saying this for any purpose of betting in this game. I just found this interesting. Do you know that did you know that Sean Monahan has played in Calgary twice in his career as a visitor? Twice. Once with Montreal.
okay.
He had 2 assists. That was back on, I'm just trying to find that date. December 1st, 2022, with the Habs. He had 2 assists. He was +1. And the second time he played there, February 19th, 2024, with the Jets, he had 3 goals. I
Wow.
just saw it yesterday. I was like, I don't know. It's kind of funny. Like, it's a former Flame, goes back, and then just 2 games in Calgary and shows out. But yeah, I
I'll
just thought that was interesting.
I'll be the first to put my hand up here too, because I said that when they signed that contract, I'm like, that's fucking insane. Like how you can pay with his injury history. Like I know he had a really good year last year and he was legitimately good, but how you can pay him that kind of money with that uncertainty and like give him that term and everything is seems like a terrible idea to me. He's been unreal. He's had a fantastic season. Like he's not in the heart conversation, obviously, but like he's like in terms of like importance to their team and what he's done early in this year, he's in the like in that sort of heart conversation, where he's obviously not going to get any recognition for the actual award, but like he has been massive for them. He's basically at a point per game right now, playing a ton of minutes, playing in all situations, and like his underlying numbers have been really good too.
Yeah, it was kind of shocking. I thought the same thing when that contract happened. I believe we were talking about it in the summer when it went
Yeah.
down, and it was like, well, kind of turned that one around and slapped me in the face for my
Yeah.
thoughts on how that one was gonna go. But as for the game itself, Blue Jackets Flames here. Do you have any interest in betting on this one, Moretto?
So not really. This is kind of like the Jackets are flying right now. They're playing really good hockey and they've won 5 of 6. They've scored 5 goals in all of those wins, at least 5 goals in all those wins. Only game they lost, by the way, and didn't score 5 goals was against the Habs, just saying. Calgary has meanwhile been like very streaky. They were kind of good early on, then they kind of hit this rut, and then they found their game again, and now they're back in the weeds. Like it's just kind of been all over the place from them. The second I'm like, maybe I'm going to buy into this team, like maybe they've discovered something, they start to tail off. So, yeah, these are two kind of not great teams. Ultimately, in the end, like I still think that while they're able to find these like sort of pockets of good hockey that they're sort of have both been in at different times. I don't think they're actually good. I think they're both bottom third teams in the league. And with that comes this sort of inconsistency. Don't really have an appetite for the Flames at this price. I don't trust their offense enough to bet an over, but like I also can't bet Columbus unders right now. So no, I don't have much interest in betting this game. We came out absolutely firing today, and it's just
I know
very much plateaued. Yeah.
We should have gone backwards to the front.
Yeah,
So.
Start at the late games and work our way up.
Well, last chance to get a bet in here. Oilers minus 132, Golden Knights plus 110, 6.5 total, minus 10 on either side. Are you betting on this one or no?
So, okay.
Okay.
All right. Fool me once. What's that old saying? Fool me once, shame on me, or shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I don't know what fool me like 40
times. You just went
times.
full Bush there.
Yeah. This is like
twice,
how many times have I done this with the Oilers against Vegas? Way too many times where I've backed this Oilers team in Vegas, and it has rarely gone well for me. I'm out on Vegas right now. I've talked about that. I am fully out on Vegas right now. I am in on the Oilers. But I don't want to inflict more pain on myself. Like Vegas, for whatever reason, just seems to like have their number, at least on home ice. But like I need to know what's going on. I don't think we have any updates. I don't think Mark Stone's going to play. He practiced yesterday. He was back for the first time since getting hurt, but he was wearing a red non-contact jersey. So I still fool me twice, you can't get fooled again.
You don't know that clip? Do you know?
I don't know that clip. No.
Oh. It's Bush on like a big stage doing a speech, and he's like, "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice," and then he can't like think of it. And he's like, "Fool me twice, you can't get fooled again."
You can't get fooled again. Jesus.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I need to see that one. No, I need to see that one now. I don't know how I haven't seen that. That's wild. But yeah, I don't think Stone's gonna play, which is obviously significant. And I do think Zach Hyman's gonna come back tonight. He hasn't played in a couple weeks. But he was back skating yesterday. Nobla said he could possibly return. If I'm going to bet this game, I would need like full confirmation that Hyman is in and Stone is out, because I've done this too many times. I don't want to get burned here. Like I want to bet Edmonton, but I need the confirmation. Like I read somewhere that Hyman wants to play and Hyman's ready to come back, but like they're worried about how physical Vegas plays, and they don't necessarily know if this is the right game to like rush him back for. So yeah, I haven't bet anything yet. I'm gonna kind of wait and see how that injury stuff shakes out with Stone and Hyman. But if we do get Stone out, Hyman in, and the market hasn't moved all that much, and like I'm able to get in before the market kind of reacts to that, anything under that like minus 135-ish range would be good, and I would be betting that.
Okay. But nothing as of right now. Here, I got the clip for you. You got to see this.
Yeah,
you can experience this for the first time. Think the audio should be able to play here. Let's see it.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, "Fool me once, shame on you." If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Oh, he realized so early on in that he's like, again. Shit, I don't think I know this thing.
Is it all saying Tennessee? Amazing. I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee.
That's unreal.
Just comes back. That one's so good.
That's unreal.
I had to play that. Okay, let's get to this futures bet that Okay, so the context here is that our friend in the show, Ron, he messaged me on Twitter before. He said, I can't get to the, I can't come to the show today, but take a look at this. There's a concept behind it, but I mean, I agree fully. I bet this already myself. I bet this in the preseason. Okay. I gave it out on the show. The number is still there, and I don't understand how or why. It's Mitch Marner to win the Art Ross at 100-1.
Mm.
He's 5 points back right now. So like, I'm not gonna take credit for this one. I did give this out on the show previously, but I just
Didn't we
wanted to
talk
kind
about
of.
this a couple weeks ago too when we were talking futures?
I think
A
it
little
got brought
bit.
up, but I don't think if we dug
Yeah.
into it far too much. But just the concept is really like he's 5 points back. He was 100-1 to start the season, and obviously, like that was everybody. Hey, has an equal chance here of doing this. Well, 5 points is really not drastic. Like 5 points to be able to catch up to the guys ahead of him right now on the list. It has now jumped. I don't know who's bet this one. I swear when we started the show, it was there. It is there on other books right now, so look around. But we gave it out at the beginning of the season. I just wanted to bring it back to light. We're not adding it to the sheet again because we already have bet this. The number is still around. It was on FanDuel literally when the show started and until about like 10 minutes into the show. I don't know who has bet this or where this has gone or if Ron has got all horny himself and has been absolutely hammering this. But Marner Art Ross at 100-1, even anything like around there, I think is just still good. Like 5 points back right now. You're getting a number that you were getting pre-season on him for the most part, especially when you search around. I don't know. This is one where to me it's just I couldn't believe that number was still looking at that. I hadn't looked into it myself until Ron pointed it out, and I went, "Holy shit! Yeah, we need to talk about this." But for those who were still looking or maybe didn't bet it at the beginning of the season, if you can still find that number, which I think you can. Obviously, we're not giving it as an official play here right now. I think it's worthwhile. I don't know. Like, don't want to be doubling down on this guy, but I do.
No, I swear. I mean, we can find the clip at one point maybe, but like I swear I brought this up too.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, and I think I remember you. I remember you bringing it up in preseason. And I was like, I know you talked about this already. But like here we are, a month and whatever into the season, and like this is a pathway for him to kind of get there, and it's a very realistic pathway. Yeah, I think that's a good bet. I think that's a legitimately good bet.
Yeah, and like Charles said, the stalwart Leafs, defensive Leafs though, but like, I don't know. He's right there in the league leaders. They're playing a more defensive style. They're not playing run and gun, and he's still 5 points back. Matthews comes back here now. He's not playing with him, but Tavares has somehow had this like resurgence in his legs. I don't know if it's the amulet that he's got on or what, but like he's rocking. And now your power play, Marner's the point guy on the power play. Like Matthews back in here. Nyes seems to have taken a step offensively. Like everything around him seems to just be contributing to him being able to get more points. Again, still like I don't think he wins it, but at the number, I would be kicking myself personally just not having that in my pocket right now. So shop around because I know for fact it was out there at other shops as well, and on FanDuel it was there like during the beginning of the show because I had this open on a separate tab for us to be able to go and reference later. But that's the one.
Especially when you look at like who would normally be at the top of that leaderboard. Maybe guys that haven't necessarily gotten off to the same dominant starts. Like obviously Kucherov scares you, McKinnon scares you, but like Kaprizov's unreal. But like, is there going to be enough volume in that Wild offense for him to continue at this pace? I don't think Netchus is going to continue at this pace necessarily either. Eichel's obviously struggle with injuries and stuff. So yeah, like it's legitimate, that he could get up there and finish at least like finish in that realm of like the top 3 or 4 or something like that, where you can like kind of hedge out of it and like do something with that price down the line. It doesn't necessarily have to win it for you to benefit from betting it at that number, right?
Yeah. All right. Let's get to our goal scorer parlay here. We'll try to find some
Charles.
4.
Yes, we do want to live in that world.
Get it off the screen. I didn't see anybody send any goal scorers here, so
neither did I.
Strange shakeup in the chat here today. Keep hitting that like button, subscribe here to the channel if you haven't already. I don't know, maybe we want to fire out just a no. Should we just do a no?
Today?
Yeah. I mean, like we're still doing the goal scores, but we could just do the opposite here. I don't know. I got a couple according to the BetStamp Pro tool if we want to add those.
Yep.
Also,
I see a couple here too.
Okay. Lindholm? No.
Yep.
Minus 380.
Yep.
Okay. So let's add that one first. We'll go to the Boston game. Elias Lindholm, no goal, minus 380. The next one there, I think we're looking at the same. Yeah, the Alber out in shambles.
What about Eichel? No.
Yep, that was the next one I was looking at. So I'm happy with that as well. These are all from the BetStamp Pro tool, the ones that are showing as like best or even slightly edge on those. And as well, make sure to go to FanDuel, use any of the profit boost tokens that they have on NHL on any given night. Typically should be able to add those to some of these. So go to the Vegas game. We will add Eichel, no. Next one. Where are we at? There you go.
There's a lot to choose from here.
Yeah. Go, should we just go in order of the list? Perfetti?
Sure. Perfetti and then Strome?
Strome? Yeah. All right, let's do that. So we'll add Perfetti and Strome to our no goal scorer parlay. Strome is minus 310, and Perfetti right now is minus 400. There you go. I just have to add this one. Sorry, everyone. And that'll do it for our no goal scorers. Good thing I can't find them. There we go. Okay. 3, 4. We've got Lindholm, Eichel, Strome, Perfetti. Those are the 4 plus 203. What do we think? I think this is it. I think this is the one that hits. Another one that hits.
Well, not the already, one. So yeah, we've had the one. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had the one.
Don't let us get hot. Yeah, Rob, I would probably bet that now. I would bet that. I'm betting it now. It looks like I don't know. Like I'm not going to rely on the Islanders taking money because I'm not sure that it's going to happen right now. I did just bet it while we were like about 5-10 minutes ago because I saw it taking a little bit towards Montreal at a market making book. So I didn't want to miss the boat. And yeah, I mean, there's plus 115s that are widely available now. I would do that, and that's probably my cutoff. So I think that I don't think those 115s are in danger of going away. But like that being said, if they do and you miss the boat, like, hey,
do you want to track this here?
Yeah, we can track it now.
Okay.
I'd say
let's plus
track
115.
it now.
All right, here's our picks for today. We have Avs, Sabres under 6.5 minus 120, Habs money line plus 115, Islanders, Habs under 6 minus 120, and then Red Wings, Bruins over 5.5 minus 120. Those are our best bets. As for our anytime goal scorer, we're going with the no today, and we're going to go with Lindholm, no. Eichel, no. Strome, no. Perfetti, no. That comes out to plus 203. If you like the stream here today, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. As well, check out the new episode of Circle Back, dropped earlier this morning. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in. We appreciate it. As always, we'll be back tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time for more picks and previews. Until then, enjoy the games tonight. Good luck on your bets.